Welcome. Have you ever stopped to think about that tiny, almost nothing feeling of a single eyelash on your eyelid? Well, today, we're going to follow the incredible journey that makes that feeling even possible. We're diving deep inside our own heads to trace the path of one crucial nerve.
I mean, it's a feeling we all know, right? A little tickle? But what feels like just a tiny annoyance is actually the grand finale of an incredible story of biological engineering.
And that's the story we're unpacking right now. We're going to follow our main character, the ophthalmic nerve, all the way from its origin story to its final, super-sensitive destination. All right, so every hero has an origin story, and our little nerve is no different. We start our journey right at its birthplace, a central hub of nerve cells tucked away in a dense, bony part of the skull right near your ear.
This is it, the trigeminal ganglion. It's basically a bundle of nerve cells that acts as the source. You can think of it as the family home, where three major nerve siblings get their start before heading out into the world. So, from this one central spot, this ganglion, we get three main branches or divisions. You've got the ophthalmic, the maxillary, and the mandibular nerves, and each one has its own unique path and its own special job to do.
But today, we're zooming in on just one of them, the ophthalmic nerve, also known as V1. This is our hero. Its entire mission is sensory. It's the whole reason you can feel your forehead, your scalp, and you guessed it, that single eyelash on your eyelid. Okay, so after leaving home, our nerve's journey gets complicated. It has to navigate this really crowded and critical intersection inside the skull called the cavernous sinus.
The best way to think of the cavernous sinus is like a major superhighway interchange inside your head. It's bustling with traffic. Our ophthalmic nerve, along with its sibling, the maxillary nerve, merges onto this highway by entering its lateral wall, the side of the structure.
And this table just brilliantly lays out how busy this area is. You can see our ophthalmic nerve is traveling right there in the lateral wall, tucked neatly below the third and fourth cranial nerves, but just above the maxillary nerve. Everybody's got their own lane, but notice who's not playing it safe in the wall.
Yeah, that would be the sixth cranial nerve, the abducens. It's taking the express lane right through the middle. And to help us remember its unique position, Dr. Najib gives us this fantastic mnemonic. 6 is sexy, it loves to go through the cavity. A little goofy, but you'll never forget it.
So, as our nerve keeps moving forward, having safely navigated that sinus wall, it comes up to a critical crossroads. The journey's about to branch out, literally.
Right here, our single protagonist, the ophthalmic nerve, decides to divide its forces. It splits into three distinct branches, and each one gets its own name and its own final destination. And here's the new team, the lacrimal, the frontal, and the nasociliary nerves. They're all lined up in a very specific order. The lacrimal is on the outside, or most lateral. The frontal is chilling in the middle, and the nasociliary is most medial, so it's closest to the nose.
So now we've got three new branches. The big question is, how do they get from inside the skull into the eye socket, the orbit? Well, to do that, they have to pass through a very specific gateway. This gateway is called the superior orbital fissure, but it's not just one big open door. Inside of it, there's this special fibrous ring called the common tendinous ring, which basically acts like a VIP section.
And, not everyone gets into the VIP section. Two of our branches, the lacrimal and frontal nerves, they have to stay outside the ring. They travel with the fourth nerve, the trochlear. A great way to remember this group is the mnemonic LFT for lacrimal, frontal, trochlear. But meanwhile, our third branch, the nasociliary nerve, gets the VIP pass. It goes inside the ring, along with the third and sixth cranial nerves.
So, while the frontal and nasociliary nerves are off having their own amazing adventures, let's follow the final chapter of our smallest branch, the lacrimal nerve, as it finally completes its quest. Okay, so having entered the orbit outside that VIP ring, the lacrimal nerve travels forward along the side of the eyeball. Its path takes it directly to the lacrimal gland. That's your tear gland, which it pierces right through before it finally ends in the skin and the lining of your outer upper eyelid.
Now, once it gets there, it has two crucial jobs. First, its main sensory mission, of course. But second, it does something really cool. It acts as a delivery route. Special fibers that control tearing have basically hitched a ride along the nerve to get to the lacrimal gland. This clever little system is why emotions can physically make you cry. And if this pathway gets messed up, it can lead to problems like painful dry eye.
And this brings our entire amazing journey full circle. That tiny little feeling of an eyelash on your eyelid, that's the end result of this incredible winding path. It's the very tip of the lacrimal nerve, sending a signal all the way back to your brain, saying, hey, something's here.
So from a central hub, through a crowded sinus, splitting into three, navigating a VIP gateway, we followed just one tiny nerve all the way to its destination. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If that was the journey of just the smallest branch, what other complex and vital missions are the other two on right at this very moment?